In this short video, we're going to look at how to fix formatting when pasting into a WordPress blog or website. I'm Brian Ensminger, the host of the Engaging Missions Show, and today we're going to answer a question that came to me about how to work with WordPress. As a blogger, podcaster, and webmaster, I've been working with WordPress blogs and websites for years. Today's question is about how to fix the formatting when pasting into WordPress, and specifically it's about paragraph spacing, although we're going to talk about some other stuff as well. Now, I don't know about you, but there have been times when I've been working in a word processor like Microsoft Word or Google Docs or something like that to create my absolute masterpiece. I get done, I go to copy it into my WordPress blog to make the post of a lifetime, and when I do, it looks all weird. Today, we're going to talk about why that is. We're also going to talk about a few things that we can do to address it. Not all of them are pretty. Some of them might cost a little bit of money. It's all about the approach that you want to take. Now, first off, I do want to mention that I'm going to be working with a WordPress.com website today. This is a generic site that I have set up. However, the things that we're talking about will generally work with a self-hosted WordPress blog or website as well, although some themes or plugins that you might be using could enhance or exclude some of the options we're looking at. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and log into my WordPress blog or website. I use a password manager called LastPass to manage multiple accounts and passwords. I'm going to go ahead and log in, and then we're going to go start talking about options. And the first thing I want to cover is, why does this happen? So one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that when you're writing in a word processor like Word or Google Docs or things like that, a lot of times it's got HTML or hypertext scripting in the background. That's what creates the formatting that you're looking at. The headers, the font changes, the size changes, the bold, the italics, all of that stuff. A lot of times in the background, it's doing a lot of that stuff. Now, what happens is when you grab that and you copy it and you paste it into the editor in your WordPress blog or website, very often it will take at least a portion of that formatting with it, which is great because you want it to look bold. You want the headers and all of those things. However, sometimes the way that your editor window deals with those things may do things like insert extra spaces between your paragraphs. It might change things. You may have extra characters. So we're going to look at our options now. One option, you could write your post in the WordPress editor in the first place. Now, I'm going to assume that if you were already doing that, you wouldn't be watching this video, but that is an option. Second, you could use an editor that could publish directly to WordPress. In the past, I've used things like Byword if I wanted to write using Markdown and then publish directly there. That gave me offline access on my iPad, something that I could do. That is an option, but sometimes that'll cost you a little bit of money. Beyond that, we have three options that are left. We could paste it in using the text editor. We could paste it in as plain text, or we can paste it in with formatting and then remove the extra stuff. I'm going to go ahead and show you all of those options today, but those are the three that we're going to spend most of our time with. So first off, we're back at the WordPress interface. I'm going to go ahead and create a new post. And if you're using a WordPress, self-hosted WordPress site, you'll create that post a little bit differently, but the basic idea is the same. I'm going to go ahead and give this a title. And then the next thing that we need is some content. So I've gone to lipsum.com. That generates this generic text that you'll sometimes see on a sales page or something like that if they're trying to demonstrate how amazing a product is. I've just generated some of that, and then I've copied it into a Google Doc. I've added a header right here, and then I've added some bold right here. And while we're watching, I'm going to go ahead and add some italics because I'm pretty sure that this line is important as well. So now I have some formatting. Now, what's going to happen when I copy this, and I'm using just Command-C on my Mac, it would be Control-C on your PC. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to come back over to my post. Now, when I paste that in using, in my case, Command-V, if you're on a PC, it would be Control-V, or you can just right-click and paste it in, whatever you want to do. You'll see when I paste it in, it looks like I might have some extra spaces in between the paragraphs. I'm going to go ahead and hit Preview and see if that's the case, and as I suspected, it is the case. I have extra spaces that I didn't want. That's exactly the thing that we were talking about. It's copied over the formatting. So we've got our header, we've got our bold, we've got our italics, but because of the way the WordPress editor deals with the spaces between paragraphs, it recognized that those were paragraphs and then thought there should be extra spaces as well. So it's a case of it trying to think for us a little bit too much. Now we're going to look at our options to fix that. So I'm going to go ahead and select it all. Now, one thing we can do, we can paste it as plain text using the HTML thing. So if I click on HTML and I paste it in, it's just pasted in raw text. Now, when I go to preview that, you'll see that it's stripped out all the formatting, but the paragraph spacing is the same. Not exactly ideal, but if there's only a little bit of formatting, I could do something like now if I go back to the visual editor, I can select where it says header, and if I want to, I can make that a heading. That's great. I can select this paragraph or this line right here, go ahead and make that bold, and I can add my italics. Now, as you can see, that's not super fast, but it does work. Another option to paste as plain text, if you want to, is to hit this little paste as plain text. If you can't see this in your editor, you might need to expand it, but paste as plain text, when I hit that, it's going to toggle that over, and I'll just paste it in. You'll see that it's done exactly the same thing, so that I'm still going to have to apply the formatting to it. Again, not exactly what I would like. One other little-known secret for pasting as plain text is if you hit on a Mac Command, Shift, and V, or on a PC Control, Shift, and V, that will paste what you've copied as plain text. All of these are plain text options, but then you're going to have to go back and change the formatting back the way that you wanted it. The other option, the one that you've probably already figured out, I guess I need to change this back to not plain text. If I go ahead and paste it in with the formatting, I can just go through and remove the extra lines. Now, again, it's a little bit more work than I would have liked. I could have fixed this by writing it in WordPress in the first place or using a text editor that can publish directly to WordPress, but I didn't do that in this case. When I hit preview, you'll now see that it has everything exactly the way I had intended. So I've got my first paragraph, I've got a header, I've got bold, I've got italics, all my spacing looks right, and when I'm ready to publish, I can go. So today we covered why it looks weird sometimes when we're pasting something into WordPress. Five different options, actually six different options for how to paste that in and how we can fix that. If you found this valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you'd click the like button and subscribe to this channel. If you have any WordPress questions, please send them to feedback@engagingmissions.com. And if you want to check out what's going on with the Engaging Missions show, visit engagingmissions.com.